everything that I was interested in had to do with the fact that language was flowing in and out of its definition constantly. I would try and pin down the meaning of something, and of course, it would fall apart, because the only way I could define something was through words. And because words are always changing, the meanings are changing, I suddenly realized, like, oh, this is the most liberatory thing. And so if my work is always based in this thing that has no real definition, can never be fixed, then my work is totally free. My name's Rindon Johnson. I am an artist. I work mostly with language. That means that I work with everything possible. So I do stained glass, I work a lot with leather, I work in video games and virtual reality and kind of any digital space possible. And then I also make installations, kind of whatever the idea necessitates. The other part is that I had written poetry for a really long time. The water is choppy. The swimmer is pushed and pulled by the unpredictable waves. The swimmer cuts through the water with strong strokes. Having the opportunity to have an exhibition in Shanghai is amazing. It means that I get to begin learning about China in a personal way, which is something that I wasn't expecting to be able to be afforded. The whole team at the Rock Bund is really amazing, and of course X is just this incredible thinker. I feel very honored to be in dialogue with them. The piece Conversations with Drew is a video piece that I made because I had originally wanted to sail from San Francisco to Shanghai. But what then eventually happened was I thought, oh, maybe I can digitally remake the sail. Of course, I like to be really specific with my materials. Like, why am I using this particular thing? And what is the history of that usage? Every time I would try and go in and model a boat of any kind, the history of the boat would mire me in what would actually be happening. So I was like, okay, no boats. It's just me, and I'm just swimming. The Conversations with Drew piece is just the starting point for the larger piece, which is called Best Synthetic Answer, #1, Crossing. It's basically creating itself every second, kind of this endless improvisation. You see my avatar trying to swim against the current or whatever type of weather we predict to be out there at the time. We're getting in real-time weather data, but it's never perfect. The piece will run for 7 months long, second for second, how long it's estimated that it would take a person to swim from San Francisco to Shanghai. The second for second thing is something that I feel it just made the most sense. I couldn't just play at the idea of crossing. I had to show the crossing. And the rest of the exhibition kind of has its own different time scales that deal with the 7 months in some ways. And a best synthetic answer is what a large language model is designed to create. From the large language model's perspective, the model understands itself as only creating a thing that is synthetic. And thus, every answer that they give has to be one that is so perfectly synthesized and put together that there could be no better answer. And to me, that feels like the silliest, most lofty goal possible. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna make a bunch of best synthetic answers for this show. And that's why the whole show is called Best Synthetic Answers. It's really fun to make work that can't be pinned down. And that's poetically quite nice, but it also creates a preciousness that's quite interesting. That's also a little bit sad and kind of cool. I think it's important somehow to insert that type of temporality into contemporary art. To kind of be like, no, there's a rarity that is just circumstantial, not monetary.